So first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming because these are challenging times, and it meant a lot to Gabby and Mitch, and we just really appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. It's a big deal. So thank you. And this is a joyous event, but there are a lot of relatives that we invited that because of COVID couldn't make it. So little sadness that we didn't have everybody here, but we're happy definitely for who came. So thank you. Um, I am in awe of the event so far. It's just been incredible, and so I want to thank everybody that had something to do with bringing this together, which I had nothing to do with it. Um, so my beautiful wife Nora, if you could stand up, please. She took most of the brunt of this thing, and of course Gabby was taking her doing her boards and working hard. So this is, I mean, I had no idea how much planning goes into an event like this. I mean, it's been a year. It's been a year since we started it, since they started it, and it's just been amazing. It just kind of takes on its own life. So thank you for all those involved. I know Josie helped us a good bit. Mariana helped. Courtney, the coordinator, she's been great. She's like Sergeant Schultz, if anybody's old enough to remember Sergeant Schultz. So when I met with Courtney, I only went to one planning meeting, and she said, "Oh, thank you, God, you're not a psycho dad." So I took that as a compliment. I wasn't a psycho dad. But so when I knew I had to get up and say something, I did what everybody does. I went to YouTube and looked at what father speeches are, and of course you can pay somebody to write a speech for you, which that wasn't kind of my cup of tea. And then they one of the most popular ones was a James Bond speech where the father says he forgot something, he forgot a speech or his daughter's teddy bear, and he's got to leave for a minute, so he walks out, and there's a video of him getting in a high-speed car, going on chases, beating people up, and then getting chased by police, finally getting an airplane and parachuting back to the church, which I was like, God, I mean, what kind of father does that and takes all the attention away from the bride and groom? And I almost had that completed, but I just didn't get it done in time. It'd have been perfect. It'd have been perfect. So that didn't happen. Then they had the fathers that wrote everything down and read everything, which really felt sorry for everybody. Obviously, somebody else did too. And then the other speeches were always started with, "This is the saddest day of my life and the happiest day of my life," which, Gabby married Mitchell. I mean, it's not the saddest day of my life, but certainly a very happy day of my life, Mitchell. So that's all good. So what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to speak from my heart. I mean, that's all I know how to do. So Gabby, I'm going to start with you. I mean, tall, beautiful, athletic, smart, all things I gave you with my qualities. You're welcome. But no, really, daughter, I'm proud of your accomplishments, from scholastic accomplishments to what you achieved in sports in your life, and now to become a doctor in a few months is amazing. And but aside from all that, I'm most I'm most proud of the person you've become. You've got a strong character and a really good heart, and you've got a good relationship with God, and you're a very caring person, and I'm in awe of you and everything you've accomplished so far in life. And I'm just so happy that you've met somebody to share the rest of your life with. And Gabby, I love you, and I'm happy for that. Okay. Now Mitchell. So, I mean, this has been a long time coming. I've known Mitchell for 7 years, and he first started coming to Lake House, didn't say much, and I gave him the regular abuse I gave all Gabby's boyfriends, and it didn't seem to bother him much. He just smiled, and then I found out he could make me martinis. I was like, okay, I got a use for this kid. That's all right. And then he played golf, so we started playing golf together, and I actually probably the first person I've ever beaten golf. So I was like, yeah, I'm starting to like this kid. So Mitchell, you're a great guy, and really you've been a son to me for quite a few years now, and really I feel like we're good friends too because, I mean, sporting events or golf, I mean anything I pay for, you're there, buddy. But I'll tell you, I mean, Mitchell's a smart guy. I mean, during COVID, he lived at our house for 4 months, and yes, Mike, I've got that tax break on my taxes, not yours, because I fed him. But Mitchell really knows what he's doing. I mean, it takes somebody special to handle my girl. I mean, all those things I said about her are true, but she requires a special man, and Mitchell is that special man. And just to tell you, I mean, one time we went to Birmingham, and Gaby had a test, I think, and it took 4 hours, and it's like, okay, 4 hours, we're playing golf. So we went and played golf, and Gaby got done in I don't know, 2.5 hours, and she called Mitchell. She said, Mitchell, I'm ready to be picked up. I'm like, Mitchell, call your girlfriend and tell her we got another hour and a half to play golf. And he goes, I'm not going to call her. You call her. I'm like, well, let's go pick her up because I'm not calling her. So, Mitchell, I've always liked you, and even though I gave you the business, I mean, there was only one time that I ever had any doubt of your ability to protect Gaby, and just that only one time in 7 years is pretty good. But I got to tell everybody what that time was. I mean, we were out in the boat late. We came in late. We've been drinking, and I think it was just me, Nora, Mitchell, and Gaby. And, we came in, docked the boat, turned the dock lights on, and we had a fish light that attracted fish out there. And, got in. I got out and started tying the boat up. And all of a sudden, I heard like a little girl screaming. I'm like, Jesus, what? I mean, there's no little girls in the boat. It must be Mitchell. Oh, my God. So I ran over to the other side of the dock, and does everybody know what a blue heron is? It's a big bird. I mean, this bird started attacking Mitchell. I mean, I ran over there, and there were fists and feathers, and I mean, I didn't know where Mitchell stopped and the bird began. I mean, it was just a big ball. So I went over there, pulled the bird off of Mitchell, and to this day, Mitchell will say it was because he was between the bird and its food. It was like back there on the dock box. But I happened to do a little investigation myself and found out that was the 2 weeks that blue herons mate. So I think it was a little bird rape, maybe. I mean, so Mitchell's got his story, I've got mine, but I know when Mitchell is at the lake, that bird is around the dock. He follows the boat wherever Mitchell is. So I mean, that was the only real time. But Mitchell, I mean, really, you've been I mean, I consider you a friend, and I think you're a great guy, and you got all the qualities that my daughter needs for you guys to be happy. So I want to officially welcome you to the family and the whole Gutierrez clan, which is sizable. So yeah, I think you're the perfect guy for my daughter, and you're allowed to drive the boat now too. Okay. So, words of advice. I've been married for 34 years. Imagine that. I got an unbelievable wife. So, my words of advice are to simply make each other laugh every day. To make your partner laugh every day. And if you get an argument, watch out for anger. Anger is your enemy, because you can say something in anger that you just can't erase. You can't get over. So don't do that. Yeah, don't. I mean, you're going to have fights, but remember, makeup sucks. That's always good. Woo! Hey, me and your mother get in a fight every night, so the makeup sucks. So let's toast the bride and groom. Everybody, raise your glass and wish Gaby Mitchell long life and happiness. Hear, hear.
Well, I don't know how to follow that. I did prepare, and it's not that great. I also don't have any liquid courage, so here we go. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Kaylee Crumley. I'm the matron of honor, bestie of the bride. So I just wanted to take a second and thank you all for being here under these crazy circumstances to celebrate the most beautiful wedding and bride and groom. I'm going to start with Gabs. So I started writing this, and I had no idea where to begin. Like, seriously, no idea. Our friendship and bond is so unique compared to most. For instance, we were enemies during the Northview Whitewater High School volleyball days, pepper partners at almost every club tryout possible, and eventually teammates in club and in college. Which all helped mold.
Come closer.
Okay. Like come to you?
Like this in front of the table.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Which all helped mold us what our special friendship is today. Gabs, when I think of our friendship, I think of a phrase used in sports, which is hold the rope. Holding the rope is about doing your part, no matter what. And it's about trusting someone around you enough to give you a spot on the rope. And no matter what, you will not let go, even if you grip so tightly that your hands are raw. The reason I say this, and the reason that I think this phrase reminds me of Gaby and our friendship, is because Gaby truly would sacrifice anything to help anyone. Her drive, commitment to, and sacrificial love for people goes above and beyond. You're gonna make me cry. She'll never let the rope drop. Whether we lived in the same house or began adulting, I have and will always know you will hold my rope in whatever facet of life we're in. Now, holding each other's rope sounds great until boyfriends get involved. We were about 6 years into our friendship, and I had a sassy Puerto Rican best friend that had a crazy Filipino best friend. So Gaby and I didn't just let anyone into our lives. But the minute Gaby saw a picture of Mitchell, her exact words were, "I want him." Right, Gonzo? Right, Peel? They were there that night. And we all knew, and all know, Gaby gets what she wants. I looked at her and laughed because I knew she was going to get him. And look where we are, people. Fast forward a couple years, and Gaby and Mitchell's love grew, and our love for Mitchell grew too. I knew he was someone that could be pushed to be better, and he'd rise to every challenge, all while handling Gaby's sass and supporting her drive to reach her dreams, which you're almost there. Mitchell truly won over my heart when Gabs and I would come home from a long day of practice, and he had a delicious meal for us waiting on the table. I would say, "Gaby, you better marry him." Winning me over was one thing, but winning Papa Smiley and Mama Nora over was another. When Mitchell met them for the first time, we were all so nervous. We were all at the lake. We knew how high their expectations were for any man that walked into Gaby's life. But we were also just as nervous to see if Mitchell could withstand the amount of alcohol that was going to be consumed that weekend. If you have drank with the Smileys, you all know what I'm talking about. Over time, Mitchell won over their hearts, and we knew Gaby and Mitchell were made for each other. Gaby, Mitch, you two are the perfect balance for each other, and you both love so fully. In your different walks with Christ, you have perfectly blended your relationships to glorify God in every way possible. I know you will continue to seek God and keep him first and in the center of your marriage each day. I want to leave you both with a marriage advice that Luke and I were left with. Mitchell, you are never right. Gaby is always right. And Mitchell, when you are right, you're still wrong. But all jokes aside, never let go of each other's rope. Cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Gutierrez. I love you guys. I wish that was. I love you. Oh my God. So good.
Next up, we have the best man, Shad.
First off, ¿cómo están? Right? Yeah. I worked on that for about 2 weeks, but no big deal. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Shad. I grew up playing football and baseball with Mitch. Our freshman year of high school is when our friendship really took off because that was the first time that we ever went to school together. And whether or not that was a good thing, I'm not really sure. It probably depends on who you ask. The first beach trip Mitchell came on with me was when I knew that we were going to be friends for a long time. We discovered a little place called Club La Vila. Just so happened to be teen night. We were pretty young. And we developed ourselves a nickname. The Turquoise Boys. Magnetic earrings, I'm not making this up. Magnetic earrings, puka shell necklaces, flat bill hats, and skin-tight Hollister shirts that just so happen to be the same color, turquoise. A group of girls decided that would be our nickname, the Turquoise Boys. Needless to say, we had a good time. So fast forward a few years, I'm living in Athens, end up convincing Mitchell to transfer schools and come live with me. I'm stoked. Mitchell moves in, we have a sweet house with some fun roommates. What's up, AV2161? And I'm sitting here thinking, the Turquoise Boys are back, baby. Let's go. Oh, and then probably the second night Mitchell ever went out, he meets Gaby. So I'm like, no. Dude, you just moved here. You can't get a girlfriend. But there was nothing I could do. He was obsessed with you, Gaby. From day one. I'd never seen Mitchell this way before in my life, and I knew it was different. It was love. I got to see y'all's relationship grow firsthand, and I have to say, it's been fun to watch. Not only has your relationship with each other grown, but your relationship with God has grown through the years as well. Gaby, you push Mitchell to be a better man each and every day, and I can't tell you what joy that brings to my heart. To know that he is in the hands of a woman who wants the absolute best for him is an answer prayer. Or is a prayer answered, sorry. I can't tell you guys enough how proud I am of what y'all have already accomplished in your young careers. I know you both are going to do amazing things in this life, and I have to say, I can't wait for your child to be playing pro ball one day so I can get some free tickets, because Lord knows that your child is going to be one heck of an athlete. Yeah. I wish you both a lifetime of happiness and success, and I'm absolutely honored to be a part of y'all's story and union today. I love you both with everything that I have in my heart. Cheers.